Bob Smeerfak. He's the one that told Stephanie Meyer vampires sparkle.
Hello, I'm Bob Smeerfak, but not really. This series is designed for theological seminary students with approaching exams who have not had time to read the Bible, and for Joe Ratzinger, now that he has all that free time to wander the Vatican for the rest of his life. Matthew, chapter 23. Let's go. In this chapter, you do not want to be a Pharisee or a scribe. Just saying. Because Jesus launched a salvo of Pharisee scribe ponage for which the smoke did not clear for 39 verses. He told the large crowd of onlookers, including his own fans, that the scribes and Pharisees were lounging in the big chair that Moses used to occupy, so they were in charge. He said, do whatever they tell you, but don't do whatever they do, because they had telling and doing down to two separate sciences. One thing they liked to do was assign a lot of heavy lifting to other dudes while they sat on their asses, and all the stuff they actually do is only for the sake of PR. They wore big bling and designer clothes. They also expect the best tables at restaurants and love to sit up front in church. And when they go to the grocery store, they love it when people call them teacher. But Jesus told them, don't let people call you teacher, because only the Messiah gets that title. You guys are all just siblings, and don't call anyone on this planet dad, because you've only got one of those, and that guy's living up in the sky house. And you don't get to be called boss either, because the Messiah's got that job locked up too. He told them that within their crowd, the high man on the totem pole was going to be the low man, and whoever makes himself out to be a great guy was going to get the smackdown. But whoever plays the modesty card was going to win the big prize. Then he turned his guns directly on the scribes and Pharisees. He said, you lying liars are going to get it. You're blocking the door to the sky house. You're not going in, and you don't want anybody else to get in either. You lying liars are so going to get it because you fill your pockets with stuff that belongs to women whose husbands have keeled over. And when you pray, you just do it to set a new record for time. And he told them that meant they were going to get an even sterner lecture by God right before they took their swim in the forever lava lake. He said, you totally lying liars are going to get it because you scour the whole area just to convert one dude, and then you turn him into twice the demon spawn you are. Not cool. Then he called them sightless Sherpas who were going to get it because they said if anyone made an oath in the name of the church house, it was no big deal. But if you swore on the precious metals that decorated the church house, you were in deep shit. And if you made an oath on the big table where they sacrificed stuff, it was fine. But if you swore on the stuff that was sacrificed, you were screwed. He said, you blindfolded idiots. What's better, the shiny stuff, just because it has 79 protons in its nucleus, or the building that makes the shiny stuff important? What's better, what's on the table, or the table that gives you a place to put it? He said, there's no freaking difference. You swear by the table, you swear by everything on the table. You swear by the church house, you swear by the guy in the church house. And if you swear by the sky house, you swear by the big chair of El Supremo and El Supremo himself. Jesus said, you lying freaking liars are totally going to get it because you like to turn in 1/10 of your income in the form of pungent herbs and tasty spices, but you skip over the big requirements from Moses' playbook, like deciding what's right and wrong, cutting people a break, and believing in stuff you don't have evidence for. You should have nailed that shit down, but not at the expense of the other stuff. You should have done it all. You guys who can't even see or trying to tell other people where to go. You pick a fly out of your soup, but you'll force a dromedary down your esophagus. You lying liars make sure you wash the outside of the dishes, but leave the inside encrusted with gunk. You idiot, clean out the inside first. Then he said, you totally lying freaking liars are totally going to get it. You're like really expensive coffins that look fantastic, but are still full of human remains and all kinds of disgusting shit. You look like great guys to other people, but inside you're packed with stinky doo-doo. Then he told them, you complete and total freaking liars are so totally going to get it. You sponsor nice cemetery plots for God's fortune tellers and decorate the coffins of people who rode the righteousness train. And then you say, hey, if we'd been around back in the day when our dads were around, we wouldn't have helped kill those fortune tellers. But you said it yourselves. You're the direct descendants of these prophet killers. And you're living up to your dad's reputations. You snakes. You collection of legless, carnivorous reptiles. What is your plan to avoid God's ultimate barbecue, huh? Check it out. I'm sending you clairvoyants, guys with big brains, and dudes who know how to copy books. And some of those guys are going to whack and nail up on wooden boards. Some of them you're going to bend over and whip their asses right there in church, and be flat out mean to them in the whole tri-state area. And every innocent person killed on this planet is going to be your fault, including that one kid who got killed by his own brother Cain back in the day, and that clairvoyant guy Zacharias, who shot off his mouth in 2 Chronicles 24 and got himself stoned, and not with cannabis either. Mark my words, dudes, that's all going to be on you. Then Jesus went off on the whole city of J-Town. He said, "Oh, Jerusalem, you people who murder God's clairvoyants and kill people with rocks when God sends them to you. How many times have I tried to protect you like a chicken pulling her little poultry up under her wing? And you weren't having it. Well, check it out. Your house is about to get stripped clean. I'm telling you, you're not going to see me again until you're all talking about that awesome guy you see swooping down in the name of El Supremo." If Jesus' divine plan was to get himself killed, and it was, he was going about it the right way. Next in this series, we'll move on to chapter 24. Spoiler alert, somebody wake up Harold Camping. Let's get ready to rapture. As always, I'm not a religious figure, but if you want me to save you or damn you to hell, I'll do my best. This is your Bible on psychotherapy. God said, "What are you doing here? This is a closed meeting." And Job said, "Door was open. Satan's here. Seems pretty open to me." God said, "Well, we can't continue the meeting if you're here." Job said, "I am not your plaything. I am not a meter to check to see how much you're being worshipped and adored. And this asshole couldn't do a damn thing to me if you weren't okay with it. You son of a bitch."
I don't even know what that was in reference to, so it's kind of weird.